Hey folks, Jimmy here, aka Palette of the Dead. Welcome back to the channel and welcome to the latest issue of Warhammer 40k Imperium magazine. Now, as per usual with all these videos, if you like them, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and of course drop a comment down below because I do love hearing back from you guys and it goes a massive way to help the channel too. Now, this week we're on issue 37 of Imperium and it is another terrain issue. This terrain is pretty decent. It's part of a modular terrain that you can get for 40k. It is the good old plasma conduits, which are pretty cool and they're pretty handy to have. I quite like them. I do genuinely kind of like them. So they are pretty fun and they're pretty kind of useful and resourceful because you can use them as cover. You can multiply. You can put them in different shapes, in different routes if you wanted to. You can link them up to your heliotrope reactor or to the Factorum buildings that we've already had. You can do a load with them and you can also use them as cover in your games. So very, very handy to have on your battlefield. Into the issue itself, we're of course greeted by the plasma conduits themselves. So these are powering the war effort. From roaring foundries to colossal gun batteries and shield generators, Imperial facilities require vast amounts of power to function. Plasma conduits crisscross Cyphos' surface, carrying superheated energy to power the Imperial war machine. So they are of modular construction using a standard template. Plasma conduits are designed to be easily replaced or rerouted. They have plasma coils, so the plasma energy, of course, produces searing heat. Coils built into the exterior of the plasma conduits vent some of this heat, reducing the risk of explosion. And there is, of course, every now and again, because it is a battlefield, there will be battle damage every now and again. So though they are made from reinforced material, plasma conduits are not immune to heavy weapons. And with this kit, we also get 2 plasma fusion batteries. So which are charged with power carried by the plasma conduits. Fusion batteries can be removed and used to power war machines if and when needed. Very, very handy to have. You get 2 of the plasma fusion batteries as well in this kit that can be slotted into this section here and removed. I genuinely, if you are going to paint it up and you think you may be removing it every now and again, make sure you use some hard coat over it or some of the other, like Storm Shield or something like that. Just varnish it. Get that paint job protected so it doesn't chip away, and you might want to do it pretty much across all of the terrain pieces, really, in all honesty. A matte varnish will do wonders to protect everything, which is the main thing that you want it to do. Then onto the other page, we do get its battle record. So, of course, we can give it a binaric designation if you want to. You can give it a power destination as well, which you roll from a D6 chart here if you wish, but entirely up to you if you want to utilise that. You can use these as makeshift cover, you can use them as objectives, entirely up to you, but really, really good stuff, and it does add to it as well, which is always really good fun. Moving on though, we get more information about one of the other major factions in 40k, the Tao Empire. Now, I really, really like the Tao. So these are an upstart race who have swiftly risen from savagery to establish a star-spanning empire. The Tao race now possess lethal technology and continually encroach upon the Emperor's realm. So the Tao operate in several different ways. So the Tao have a kind of ethos of working towards the greater good. So the greater good states that the life of the individual is of less importance than the empire itself, and very, very similar to the Imperial Creed itself. Tau technology is potent indeed. Devastating ion weapons, pulse rifles and photon grenades are issued to their troops, and they make use of swift battle suits as well, which their battle suit technology is really, really cool, and the battle suits are fantastic for Tau. I must admit, really, really like the Tau technology. Pretty damn cool. The Tau are led by ethereals who, while not possessing any psycho abilities necessarily, they are a kind of quasi-religious sect of the Tao Empire, and they are the ruling caste as well, so they are generally led by the ethereals around everything like that. And they have alien auxiliaries as well. So the Tau, being a young race and have yet to learn the folly of trusting Xenos races, rather than annihilate those they encounter, the Tau offer them a place in their growing empire. Many weak and desperate alien races have thrown in their lot with the fledgling Tao Empire, including the cannibalistic avian Kroot. So the Kroot are pretty damn cool. The insectile Vespids as well with them as well, but the Kroot looks really, really cool, and I do quite like for any part of the Tao Empire. They just look fun. They look pretty cool, and I do really, really like them. Yeah, definitely ones that I enjoy. Then we get more about one of the other Forge Worlds. This is the Forge World of Metallica, not the band. The Gleaming Giant of Ultima Segmatum. So, Metallica is a world sheathed entirely in adamantine, iron and steel. Its surface is covered with industrial clusters and forged shrines split by landscapes of industrial waste. It is an unsleeping bastion of war production whose polluted skies ring to the endless clamour of manufacture. So, with Metallica, the colour scheme, if you are going to paint up your good old Adeptus Mechanicus in the kind of colour scheme for the Forge World of Metallica, these would be the iron skulls linked to them as well, and they will have white robes with a red inside, kind of a grey trousers over your metallic, of course, as well. So, but yeah, really, really cool, and I do really, really like them. They look pretty fun, and it's definitely a nice little colour scheme as well for them. Then we have information about the other Forge World of Riser. So, Riser you may know as being one of the colour schemes, one of the paint colours, Riser Rust, which is an orange. So the Forge World of Riser is the cradle from which many plasma-based weapons technology have sprung. Yet for all its magnificence and tech heritage, Riser is a world caught amidst a storm of Xenos foes. Their colour scheme being kind of a bluish grey kind of trousers with orange robes over the top, and yeah, they are one of the kind of the main hubs for plasma weapons within the Imperium, but they are beset on pretty much all sides really by Xenos foes, whether that is for Tau, Orcs, Necrons, pretty much anything and everything. They are a war zone like no other really, and they are really getting punished over time. Then you got your how to build guide, fairly straightforward. It's pipes at the end of the day. You do not have to glue, of course, them batteries. You can utilise those to pull them out if you wish to, so you can use them as kind of objectives later on, and have kind of like troops carrying them if you wish to, and stuff like that. And putting all your pipes together, very, very straightforward. You can't go wrong with it. It's very much like the pipes, the little bit of pipe work that we got with the Heliotrope reactor. Dead simple to put together. But yeah, with all of these as well, they do come with these little feet that brace it. Entirely up to you how you want to do it. Because they are all modular and you can actually stand these upright if you wish to, you could always, if you wanted to, magnetize certain sections with these feet, so you can use them later on in different shapes, kind of constructs as well, and a bit of everything really. But entirely up to you. But yeah, really good stuff, and quite fun as well to have around. And when you're done, if you are following the guide, you'll have something looking like that. But as I say, it is entirely up to you if you have it looking like that. Then you have your how to paint section. Fairly straightforward. Paint it how you wish to paint it. It is entirely up to you if you want to go for a very silvery look, if you want to go for copper, brass, anything like that. Entirely up to you. Have a bit of fun with it, and I'm sure you'll get a really nice paint job at the end of it. And yeah, fairly straightforward. You can't go wrong, in all honesty. But if you are following the guide actually does give it a decent paint job, and it will look not too bad. Personally, I would prefer a little bit more kind of break in that silver work, but it is entirely up to you at the end of the day. It is your kit. Paint it how you want to. Then we have a section for the core rules, of course, as well. This is going through how the advanced rules work, so including your invulnerable saves, mortal wounds, and how you ignore certain wounds as well, depending on the models. and your charge phase, which are all very, very handy techniques that you are going to need to use in your games and have a bit of fun with it, but really, really good stuff. And yeah, this is just kind of adding more and more over what we've been doing through the actual battle plans that we've been getting, including things like your heroic interventions for your hero units. And then lastly, we have our battle plan, of course, for the week. So the battle plan, if you wish to play it, is power struggle. So victory points are from using, basically capturing conduits. So both forces must secure plasma conduits in order to achieve victory. The quickest and cleanest method of victory is surely the utter annihilation of the opponent. So this battle will last for 5 rounds. You're going to have 2 forces, of course. So you'll have a force of Necrons, which will include your Royal Warden, the Tombblade from last week, 3 Canatech Scarab Swarms, and 5 Immortals. Going up against the mainly good old Adeptus Mechanicus of your Tech Priest Dominus, Tech Priest Enginseer, your single Cataphron Destroyer, and 10 Skitari Rangers. So, fairly straightforward, pretty easy to do, have a bit of fun with it, and yeah, we've got some really, really good stuff to look forward to as well coming up. Now, we also do get a little pull-out section as well, so this is about the War for Ramesus and the Cyphus as well, which is one of the worlds within there, so which was a shining example of Imperial military power and Martian production. So the forces fighting over Cyphus are the Adeptus Mechanicals, of course being the disciples of the machine god, and you know, you have your different admech maniples here, and the Necrons mostly as well, so the legions of the Saracen dynasty, so including things like your Tombblades and Canatech Swarms, including spiders as well. And then you have a bit of a map as well and some data, so for some important sections, so Bastion Primus, for instance, Fortis Ultra, the Outpost Gyrodon, Factorum districts, and many, many more, all listed on here. And yeah, really, really handy to have. And it also details where kind of Ultramarine strike forces generally are, and your AdMech strike forces where they would be as well. They're macroclades hanging around mostly on that planet. And but yeah, really, really cool stuff. And the Necrons kind of coming in from space to try and take over as well. But yeah, really, really good, and a bit more handy information to have. And then finally, of course, next week we get a double-sided battle mat, providing they actually put it in the magazine, because they have forgotten that before. And we will get Uriel Yellow, another yellow paint, which is a bit bright. Using it can be a bit tricky because it's yellow, it doesn't go over dark colours very, very well, but going over white, fairly easy. We also get technical paint of Astro Granite. This is kind of like this is a texture paint at the end of the day, so it is, Astro Granite is kind of bitty and gritty, so whatever you do, do not use a brush for it, because it will clag that brush up and it will ruin it, and if it is your only brush, you're shafted. But we do get a texture tool, which are very, very handy to have, and I must admit I use mine quite, well, pretty regularly really, for doing any texture work. They're plastic, they bend a little bit, so they do have a bit of give to them, not like the metal kind of tools that you can get if you want to get them, but yeah, they'll come in handy for spreading that paint around. Issue 39, we get another Cataphron Destroyer, so our second out of 3. Issue 40, we get the third and final bit of our AdMech units as well, which is another Cataphron Destroyer. And then we will start approaching the good old Adeptus Sororitas units that are going to be coming into the magazine, which are the ones that I must admit I am actually really, really looking forward to, and I can't wait to get my hands on. But really, really good stuff. We also get a Blood Angel short story in that issue as well. So lots of stuff to look forward to, and yeah, it's going to be good fun. Of course, if you do want to get a second copy of issue 39 and 40, you can make breaches for the Adeptus Mechanicus as well. So also very, very handy units to have. Have a bit of fun with it, and yeah, good times. Thank you very, very much for watching. Have a good one, and I'll see you soon. Bye bye now.